Welcome dear students to the second part of explanation video of the chapter The Last Lesson. As we all have read till now that there are two main characters in the chapter, a student who is a small boy named Franz, and we have his French teacher M. Hamel. And the story is narrated from the perspective of this little boy Franz, who is quite unwilling to go to school as he has not prepared his lesson of participles, but somehow he is able to resist all the thoughts that come in his mind of running away or bunking the school. But there is something unusual, or rather we can say there are few unusual things he notices while on the way to school. He could see the soldiers marching, the people were gathered around near the public square and were trying to read something. The public square was the place where in the past all the news, or you can say all the bad news, came for Alsace and Lorraine. While in his way, he was stopped by one of the villagers who said that he had lot of time in the world to reach the school. He thought as if that watcher was perhaps making fun of him as he was already late for his class. It was when he reached the school he was really shocked and surprised that there was no noise like the usual days in and outside his classroom. It seemed to be like a Sunday morning. He was really scared that he would get a tight scolding from his teacher M. Hamel. But to his utter surprise and shock, he was allowed to enter the class, and all the backbenches in the classroom were occupied by the villagers and seniors like the old horser, the postmaster, and many other people over there. Each and everyone was sitting in utter silence. Franz could not understand what was the matter that had caused so much of silence. There were no sounds of the children speaking, shouting, running here and there. There was no sound of rapping of desks. There was no sound of the lessons being read in unison, and rather there was a sense of quietude that had spread all around. Another thing that surprised Franz was that his teacher M. Hamel was dressed in his best dress, with his long green coat, with his silk cap and white frilled shirt, which he used to wear on the special days. Franz could not guess what had happened. And when all of them were seated, it was then that M. Hamel dropped the bombshell and he revealed that Alsace and Lorraine were captured by the Germans. An order had come from Berlin that only German would be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine, and that the French teachers had to leave. Franz was really shocked. The news came as a thunderclap. Franz says, "What a thunderclap these words were to me! Oh, the wretches!" That was what they had put up at the town hall. He now realized that why the people had gathered around near the town hall. And this was that disturbing news. He was even shocked and deeply pained to realize that it was going to be his last lesson. Franz says, "My last French lesson. I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn any more. I must stop there then. Oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lessons." Franz felt a sense of deep pain as well as a sense of repentance as he did not pay much attention in his lessons, especially the French lessons. He took interest in roaming here and there, in seeking birds' eggs or sliding, and books seemed to be a big nuisance for him. And in the flick of a second, all that seemed to be irritating, to be unpleasant, was going to go far, far away from him. And why? Because it was the last lesson. It was at this moment that he thought of his teacher M. Hamel, who was going away. He should never be able to see him. And this painful thought made him forget all about M. Hamel's ruler and his cranky ways, his stern face, as well as his punishments. Franz felt a sense of honor for his teacher. As he says, "It was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. And now I understood why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room." Franz realized that it was in honor of this great man and that the villagers had come to take the last lesson. It was in honor of this last lesson that his teacher had put on his best clothes. It was because they were sorry too that they had not gone to school more. Franz is here referring to the villagers who did not take the learning and teaching seriously. They did not honor their language. But the time had now passed away, and they would never ever get the opportunity of learning their language, of knowing it better. So, it was their way of thanking the teacher M. Hamel for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was theirs no more. Although the people had realized that now they would not get a chance to know or learn their language more. And it was at this moment that they could not understand what could they do to get back those years that they had spent in ignorance. While Franz was thinking about all these things, he heard his name called. It was my turn to recite. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for the participle, all through very loud and clear and without one mistake. Children, you will understand at this situation what was the thought process going on in Franz's heart and mind. You would understand by any past experiences of yours when there would have been something or some idea that they missed and have had not given importance to something which required your time, attention, dedication, as well as respect. And when such a thing goes away from our hands, we just keep on repenting as we never get any chance to get that back. Similarly, Franz says that at this moment when it was his turn to recite the rules of participle, and this being his last class, he would have given his whole life to memorize and to speak it in front of the whole class, to make his teacher feel proud of him without making one mistake, uttering it very loud and clear. But he had lost that time. I got mixed upon the first words and stood there holding on to my desk, my heart beating and not daring to look up. Not daring to look up with shame, with deep pain that all these years he had not been able to make his heart and mind to give due respect to teaching, learning, and to his own language, the French language. M. Hamel tried to make Franz more calm, and he said, I won't scold you, little Franz. You must feel bad enough. See, you must feel bad enough. Yes. Why Franz must feel bad enough? Because he did not even try a bit to learn his own language. He whiled away all the time. He wasted it. Ah, that's the great trouble with Alsace. She puts off learning till tomorrow. Now those fellows out there will have the right to say to you, oh, how it is. You pretend to be Frenchmen, and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language. But you are not the worst, poor little Franz. We have all a great deal to reproach ourselves with. To reproach ourselves with? To blame ourselves. And we should blame ourselves. M. Hamel is referring to all the villagers whom he refers as Alsace. And he stresses on the fact that they put off learning. Oh, we will do it tomorrow. We also you do it. And see, this is the apt time when we can realize how many things we have had put. Oh, we'll do it tomorrow. Do you think the situation will be normal? This new normal will be our normal. We will never get the same time back. Similarly, the people of Alsace would never get that time back. And when the Germans would come, they would make fun of the people of Alsace as they feel proud in calling themselves Frenchmen, but they could neither speak their language well nor could write or know about it well. As it is our nature that we always keep on postponing things for tomorrow. Similarly, the people of Alsace, every day we have said to ourselves, Bah, I have plenty of time. I'll learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we have come out. Ah, that's the great trouble with Alsace. She puts off learning till tomorrow. And it is here the most painful thing that how will they pretend to be Frenchmen when they can neither speak nor write their own language. Over here, M. Hamel addresses Franz and says, But you are not the worst. Poor little Franz. We have all a great deal to reproach ourselves with. Your parents were not anxious enough to have you learn. They preferred to put you to work on a farm or at the mills so as to have a little more money. And I have been to blame also. Have I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lessons? And when I wanted to go fishing, did I not just give you a holiday? Here in this part, we can see that how M. Hamel not only blames the villagers for their ignorant attitude towards learning, that they did not have that zeal to send their children to study and rather preferred to put them to work so that they could have some extra earning for their family. And not only the villagers, even he blamed himself, as all these years he would also have motivated the children and their parents to study, would have motivated them to understand the real worth of education. And he whiled away all these time by making them go and water the flowers or asking them to go to fishing and give them a holiday. Then, from one thing to another, M. Hamel went on to talk of the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language in the clearest, the most logical, that we must guard it among us and never forget it, because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Children, this is significant aspect of respecting and loving one's language. It is about learning it. It is about knowing it, and it is about feeling proud of it. Because it is one's language that will always make us proud and would let us lead the whole world. Even if we are imprisoned, our language would be that key that will free us from all enslavement. Then he opened a grammar and read us our lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood it. All he said seemed so easy. At this point, we will end the second part of explanation, and in the next part we will see that how this last lesson brings in a great transformation in the hearts and mind of this little child Franz, as well as all the other people who are motivated to learn their language, who are motivated to give real worth and respect to their language. Thank you, children.